Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Euroman Movie Report, the show where I talk about a movie I recently watched at my local movie theatre. And this week I'm going to talk about Logan. Logan is supposedly Hugh Jackman's final role as the Marvel X-Men Wolverine. And Logan takes place in and around 4 years after the events of X-Men Apocalypse. Something has happened. Most mutants have died out. Professor Xavier, once again played by Patrick Stewart, he is suffering from some sort of either ALS or dementia. And we are told references to an event in a location in the US called Westchester, where supposedly a lot of people, including some of the more famous X-Men, they died off due to, Professor Xavier. And now Professor X and Logan, they live south of the US-Mexico border, and Logan is ill, possibly poisoned by the adamantium, and he earns money as a limo driver. And they share a household with another mutant, Caliban, who we also saw in X-Men Apocalypse, but now he's played by a different actor. And of course the movie here takes place in 2024. And one day Logan, while on a job, is approached by this Mexican woman who calls him Wolverine, and she wants his help, but he originally refuses. But he is later tangled up in some events that results in Wolverine having to put out his claws for one final time. Because it turns out that this evil corporation have tried to make mutant clones, and this Mexican nurse and from a facility owned by that corporation in Mexico, she has liberated some of these mutant clone kids, and one of them, a little girl who has the same abilities as Wolverine. She has claws, and she can fight. And then Wolverine, he agrees to help transport this little girl to North Dakota, because there's some place called Eden waiting for the mutants, where they can be safe from the world. Logan is unlike any of the previous X-Men films, because, for one thing to mention, it's rated R, so it is extremely violent. It is as violent as the 2004 adaptation of The Punisher. If you guys remember the Punisher movie made by Lionsgate, where Thomas Jane, he played the Punisher. But in many ways it resembles a western, because it's like we have a reference where Patrick Stewart and the little girl, they watch this 1950s western, that it's like Wolverine here, Logan, he is the old gunslinger who has to put on his spurs for one final battle in order to protect the innocent. Hugh Jackman plays Wolverine once again, and he does it very well. Patrick Stewart, who once again plays Professor Xavier, he's somewhat good. He's okay at portraying a person who is supposedly suffering from dementia. And the little girl, I see if I can find what her name is. Her name is Daphne Keane, and I'm sure if this Logan movie is successful, she will return in upcoming X-Men films, because she is a very good actor. And of course she is chased, she's called X-23, a character from the X-Men comics. She is chased by this anti-mutant team called the Reavers, and yeah, they are led by Pierce, a guy also from the comics, and he has this robotic arm, and he wants to capture X-23 and take her back to the company where she was manufactured. And this company, of course, has this lead scientist played by Richard E. Grant, who you guys of course remember from Hudson Hawk. No, of course he has played in other films, but I remember him from Hudson Hawk. And Richard E. Grant is good at playing a bad guy. But all in all, yeah, we don't know if Hugh Jackman will return anyway in a future X-Men film. But if this is his final role as Logan Wolverine, he did it very well, and I enjoyed Logan. It was well put together. The story, the acting was good as well. The cinematography, the whole mood, everything is lost was great. So thumbs up to the director and the scriptwriter and the cinematographer and the person who chose the music, because at the end credits there's this old Johnny Cash song, and it fit very well to the film. So all in all, if I'm gonna rate Logan, I will give it 4 out of 5 Coca-Cola bottles. That's it, Euroman of Euroman's Movie Report. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you like this review, slash movie talk, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to watch my previous reviews slash movie talks, you can click a link in the description. But I will return next week with another movie review, this time of course, King Kong Skull Island. But until then, have a pleasant weekend. Bye for now.